can WhatsApp us. It's 08000 288 291 to WhatsApp us. 08000 288 291. If you need a shout out of any kind, email steve.wright@bbc.co.uk. You can text 88291 and tweet us at BBC Radio 2. General shout outs if you're working or going somewhere, you're travelling, see friends or family. We can do birthdays too, people working, delivering or chilling. It's WhatsApp. The number 08000 288 291. Email steve.wright@bbc.co.uk. Text 88291. Tweet us at BBC Radio 2. I've seen on Stranger Things. Yeah. Actually, my friend asked if I'd seen Stranger Things. I said, then what?
You're coming my way, you're coming my way tonight. Here goes another mistake. I know I'm gonna make tonight. Oh, you should let it go. You're better off alone. Cause I'm about to get over you. I know that look on your face. You're coming my way tonight. And I will never change. I couldn't even if I wanted to for you. You're invading my thoughts and you got 10 fingers right around my heart. Wish I could give you everything that you want, but I won't, no. Oh, you should let it go, you're better off alone. Cause I'm about to get over you. I know that look on your face. You're coming my way, tomorrow we'll say goodbye. And I will never change. I couldn't even if I wanted to for you.
Cox on the air at 5. Tony Blackburn's Golden Hour. Tony's picking the hits from Chaka Khan, Wings and Michael Bublé. Sounds of the 80s, Gary Davis. Marking 40 years since Fame debuted on UK TV. Sounds of the 90s with Fern. Stand-up comedian Lou Sanders shares her 90s memories. Then it's Ramesh, and then it's Craig Charles, and it's Tracks of My Years, Paul McCartney.
Take down the sorrow, put that on the beat. Take down the sorrow, put it on the beat. I know back tomorrow, you'll come back to me. If you're not back tomorrow, what will be, will be, will be. On the beat, 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 on the beat. Take me high, 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 take me low, low, low. Pull me in, let me go, go, go. Say goodbye, bye, bye. Say hello, low, low. Treat my heart, heart, heart like a yo-yo. Treat me 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 like a yo-yo. I'm not going nowhere. I'm where I'm meant to be. So I'm not going nowhere. You run back to me. I'll be here till tomorrow. Then you're gonna see. You turn to do the dancing. Now you can dance for me. On the beat, 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 on the beat. Take me high, 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 take me low, low, low. Pull me in, let me go, go, go. Say goodbye, bye, bye, say hello, low, low. Treat my heart, heart, heart like a yo-yo. Treat me 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 like a yo-yo. Take me high, 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 take me low, low, low. Pull me in, let me go, go, go. Say goodbye, bye, bye, say hello, low, low. Treat my heart, heart, heart like a yo-yo. Treat me 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 like a yo-yo.
Treat me like a yo-yo. That's very cool. Mika and Yo-Yo. 2:27. This is Steve Wright in the afternoon.
This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. A simple prop to occupy my time. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. A simple prop to occupy my time. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I love. This one goes out to the one I've left behind. Another prop has occupied my time. This one goes out to the one I love.
To the one I love. It's precisely 2:30. am the one I love. Down. Steve, how about a shout out for me listening in Cornwall, Ontario, Canada? Yes, hello. Waiting for Serious Jockin', love it. Who are you? Steve, lovely day. Out with the dogs in South Wales, love Tom and Jamie. Thank you, Tom and Jamie. Today, Stacey's on with us. Stacey Dooley talking about her new BBC 3 series, Hungry for It. There's Tim Smith and Bobby Pryor and Justine Green and Shabnam Yunus Jewell with the sport. The oldies chosen by Mark Holly in Whitchurch, Cardiff. Tom Allen, Sheila Hancock and Laura Mvula in the best of the guests. And then, of course, at 4:15, the Jockin'.
But she moves like lightning, and she counts to 3. And she turns out all the lights and says she's coming for me. Now put your hands up, this is a heist. And there's no one in here living gonna make it out alive. Load it up when the sun comes down. Getaway car for 2 young lovers. Me and the girl straight out of town. Over the hills and undercover, undercover, undercover. She said, green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You better throw a party on the day that I die. Green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You better throw a party on the day that I die. We go together, Adam and Eve. But the girl is so much more than just another apple thief. Yeah, she's a genius. Watch and learn. Yeah, she sets the world on fire just to watch the sucker burn. Load it up when the sun comes down. Getaway car for 2 young lovers. Me and the girl straight out of town. Over the hills and undercover, undercover, undercover. She said, green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You better throw a party on the day that I die. Green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You better throw a party on the day that I die. Throw a party, yeah. Throw a party on the day that I die. Throw a party, babe. Throw a party on the day that I die. Load it up when the sun comes down. Getaway car for 2 young lovers. Me and the girl straight out of town. Over the hills and undercover, undercover, undercover. She said, green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You better throw a party on the day that I
There was George, who was on with Zoe this morning.
blue sky.
Green, green grass. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You better throw a party on the day.
You know, I think we should do a few of these, really. So it's time for some factoids. Bobby Pryor and Tim Smith are with us. And Bobby, what you got?
Wombat poop is cube-shaped and a flock of flamingos is called a flamboyance.
Oh, you caught me out there. Lord has an Instagram account called Onion Rings Worldwide, where she rates onion rings.
Oh.
Now, that I just love that, don't you?
I can take during lockdown we were doing this because you can get some great onion rings. We did find what we thought the best, and I have to say you had to pay for them.
I love it. I mean, I love the whole idea of that. Who would think of that? Here's Tim.
Before making it onto the One Show, Alex Jones spent 10 years presenting Welsh language shows, mostly in children's television. She also presented a travel series on S4C and a rugby magazine programme with former player Jonathan Davis.
And she is consistently brilliant. As if learning real languages wasn't hard enough, a Conglang. What is a Conglang, do you think, Bobby?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, a Conglang is a fictional language developed with made-up words. Among the more famous Conglangs are Star Trek's Klingon, Game of Thrones Dothraki, and Lord of the Rings Elvish.
And Minions.
Oh, yeah, and Minions, which I don't understand at all.
I love the Minions language.
I can't stand them. I just don't know what they're saying.
But do you know what they've done?
What?
They get a linguist in, and what they do is they include words from every single language, so that when you hear the minions in your country and in your language, some of it relates to you, so some of it relates to everybody.
Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't mean I can't stand them. I just don't get it. Anyway, these languages have grown so popular that entire communities have developed around learning fluency in these made-up languages. Here's Tim Smith.
Tuna swim at a steady rate of 9 miles an hour for an indefinite period of time, and they never stop moving. Your tuna never stops. Estimates indicate that a 15-year-old tuna can travel around 1 million miles in a lifetime.
You know what they say, don't you, Tim? You can tune a radio, but you can't tune a fish.
Factoids.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
All right, some news. Oil refineries are making nearly 5 times as much money from refining petrol as they did a year ago. It's outrageous data showing today a lack of capacity to refine petrol and diesel from crude oil has helped to push fuel prices to record levels and increased profits for refinery owners. Well, what about Britney Spears getting married then? Britney Spears has married fiancé Sam Asghari 7 months after being freed from a conservatorship that she said had prevented her from getting married. Well, the couple tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in California just yesterday, but preparations were disrupted when Jason Alexander, who was briefly married to the pop star, it says, in 2004, was arrested after allegedly gate crashing. In other news today, many mums can't wait for the family holiday to be over. 65% of mothers think being on holiday is harder than being at home, and 45% say they feel happy to be back at home after a family trip. What else is going on today? The Festival of Nature 2022, celebrating the natural world, is being held across Bristol and Bath. South of England show is now on until Sunday in Haywards Heath, and it's day one of the 3-day Great North Swim at Lake Windermere in the Lake District.
In the cricket, it is the second test between England and New Zealand at Trent The Beach Volleyball World Championships are on in Rome, and Edinburgh's got the Scottish Street Food Awards, and the Adelaide Cabaret Festival has started. And in cinemas today, Jurassic World Dominion, the last of the Jurassic World trilogy of films and the 6th of the Jurassic Park franchise. Now, the cast includes Jeff Goldblum, who's back as Dr. Ian Malcolm.
My kids who were there in the Langley got a chance to see them being made at the Creature Shop. And by the way, my little boys have never been to a movie theater. They've only seen a couple of things. We try to keep them off screens. They're 7 and 5. We're going to take them to this movie the first weekend it opens in America, you know, during the day on a Sunday at an IMAX screen.
That's going to be quite a moment.
I think that's
for
going to
them.
be. I hope so.
There may be a couple of moments when they sit on your lap. It's amazing. You can almost smell their breath.
I could. That dinosaur was there, and it was fun to act.
I love Jeff. He's just absolutely brilliant. There he was with Zoe.
Also today, the Download Festival is being held at Castle Donington. This year's headliners are Kiss, Iron Maiden and Biffy Clyro. Overheated has started at the O2 Arena in London. It's an event about climate change that's being overseen by Billie Eilish and coincides with her being in the UK for a run of live shows. And Avoidance is a new comedy series starring Ramesh Ranganathan as a man with severe conflict avoidance issues. And that starts tonight, 9:30, BBC One.
I'd like to say happy birthday to Rich Hall. Rich, we love, comedian, of course. He uses his own Americana songs in his stand-up shows.
One of the newest songs I'm doing is about the one guy who I think in Britain should have been a country singer, and that was because he had the country singer name, which is Travis Perkins, and that did not go well. So it's the ballad of a guy who...
Travis Perkins and Taylor Wimpey.
Yes, Taylor Wimpey. Yeah, that could be a country name. I thought about it. Thank you. There's a new one. There's a new song.
Stacey Dooley is on with us later, talking about her new BBC Three series, Hungry for It. And then, of course, at 4:15, there's Serious Jogging.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that? Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way. Seems you cannot be replaced, and I'm the one who'll stay. Oh, in this world, it's just us.
Yes, it was. And back to the Bobster.
Thank you, Steve. A1M on the northbound side, accident to 35 for the M18 has been cleared, but you've still got some delays. Also, the A19 Esric on the southbound side, it is blocked. Now, it's blocked from the new road to Skipworth Road. The queues are back to Crocky Hill already. The A15 at Curtin Lindsey, we've got it closed both ways. Overturned lorry between Redbourne Mere at Curtin Lindsey and the A631 at Canonby Corner. The M62 on the westbound side, there was a lorry that broke down at 28 for Tingley. Now, that's been cleared, but you've still got queues back to the M1 at junction 29. Also, M62 eastbound, 26 to 27. Now, we've got roadworks through there. It's causing congestion back to 24 at Ainley Top. M56 eastbound, still closed, I'm afraid, between 7 and 6. They're investigating between Bowden and Hale. So if you're heading towards Manchester, you can imagine diversion routes all through Altrincham and Bowden and Hale Barnes, very, very slow. A38 at Swiffin on the southbound side, it's closed from the M6 toll at T4 through towards Bassett Pole Island, and the M25. Now, clockwise, we've got queues from 10, the A3, all the way around, past 16 for 17. There was an accident just between the M40 and junction 17 at Maple Cross, which is now cleared, though. The M25 anti-clockwise, we've still got queues at the Dartford tunnels. It is back to 4 at Orpington, although all lanes are open. And the A28, finally, if you're heading around Canterbury, we've got the A28 closed both ways at Brooks End. So it's closed from Seamart Road at Brooks End to the King Edward Road at Birchington. Another one from me, half an hour.
Thank Bobby. Steve, shout out to my amazing husband who's driving us from Kent to Wales for a cheeky family weekend away. Massive shout out to my daughter Eloise, who's sitting in our boot seat, and our twin boys Frankie and Charlie. Steve, shout out please for Mark, Joe, Val and Phil, travelling from Harrogate, North Yorkshire to Chichester for a family wedding. Excellent. All right, 12 minutes to 3 if you need the time. This is Steve Wright in the afternoon. Sirius Jockin at 4:15 now. Irene Cara.
First, when there's nothing but a slow glowing dream that your fear seems to hide deep inside your mind. All alone I have cried silent tears full of pride.
some best of the guests in just a moment. No plans for the weekend, he asked. How about finishing one of those projects you started but never got around to wrapping up? There's a good chance you know exactly what we're talking about, it says here in Porch.com. It's a survey. The average person, the average household, has 9 unfinished do-it-yourself projects at any one time. Wow. They did a great thing in the press earlier on today, and I'll read it out. Thor Jag is top telecop motor. This was in the Sun. Teletech Inspector Morse's Burgundy Jaguar Mark II has been voted top of the cops for TV crime fighter cars. Classic British-made motor from the hit ITV show got more than half the votes in a poll. Second was Gene Hunt's Audi Quattro.
Oh, that was going to be my favourite.
Was it really?
Yeah, fire up the Quattro.
From ashes to ashes, with 43%, the Magnum PI's Ferrari 308 GTS. Other favourites included Bodie and Doyle's Ford Capri. In the professional, Starsky and Hutch, what was that? A Gran Torino, wasn't it?
Yeah, with the red and white paintwork. What about the Ford Granada that they used in the Sweeney? Now, that was a car.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Well, what about in No Hiding Place? It was a really old television show. It was a Wolsey. It was Inspector Lockhart owned it. Well, he didn't own it. It was in the police and had one of those bells. And it always reminds me of those cars, you know, where you watch an old gangster movie and they're creeping around in America, in Chicago or something, in the middle of the night, all hanging off the ledge.
And they've got a light fixed to the side that they can direct, like a spotlight on the top.
Yes, exactly. It's like
Tim,
one of those.
I think your Granada very recently got found and restored completely. I have to check that out. But also, is Colombo's Peugeot 403 convertible on that list, Steve?
Oh, no, it isn't, but it should be, shouldn't it? But, you know, it's interesting because me and you are a bit of Colombo anoraks. He's had 2 or 3 cars, but they're really supposed to be the same car, but they weren't.
There were 3 of them used at the time. But also on that list is the Citroën Traction Avant that Maigret used. You know, the French...
Yeah.
It was a bit like Poirot, but I think a little bit better. But there was a light 15 or a big 6 Traction Avant that he used, and that's a fantastic car.
Well, my big question is, where was Kit? Kit from Knight Rider, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Talking car. Some of the guests we've had on then, Laura Mvula was on yesterday's show ahead of her Pink Noise tour, which is later this summer. She's only done a handful of gigs recently, and Laura can't wait to finally get out on the road.
It means 10 times more. My focus and prep, my excitement, all of it is just sky high. So I found it funny that those couple of shows that I did, not that we care about reviews, but they were all 5 stars, and I think that's just because I've just been raring to go for years.
Yeah.
Dame Sheila Hancock was on the show on Wednesday discussing her new book, Old Rage, which came out yesterday. Now, she told us, like so many people, she found herself learning new technology over the past couple of years.
I had to speak to them from the front door and shout to them across the street. And eventually they got sick of this and said, it's ridiculous. You must learn how to Zoom. And I said, what the hell is that? And then I started badly because we did a Zoom with the whole family trying to teach me, shouting at me, you know, unmute. And I said, what the hell do you mean? And it became a sort of family row, this awful thing. Anyway, eventually I mastered that. And then I gradually began to master all the other things because it was better than not seeing anybody's faces and not being able to talk to anybody.
Tom Allen was on Tuesday's show, and his life has moved on since we last spoke to him. He's not living with his parents anymore, but it hasn't all been easy for him.
Well, I've moved out of home and I've finally got my own house, which has been very exciting. I had to buy furniture. I've had to grow a garden and be an adult.
Yeah.
And it's been very, very stressful. I had to buy a mattress, and I went in to see the lady in the department store, and she was very animated about it and very agitated about memory foam. To be honest, I think she just wanted to forget. She was very... she did that thing where she said, like, try this out. And she said, I thought you got to relax like you're at home. And I thought, it's hardly like I'm at home. Just on a Saturday afternoon, you know, if I was at home, I probably wouldn't have this many people walking around. And the thing is, you're lying in the bed trying to pretend you're at home, and then someone gets in on the other side.
That's Tom Allen, brilliant. Our old friend Stace on with us later, Stacey Dooley. She'll be on, and also don't forget, Serious Jockin' 4:15.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app. BBC Radio 2.
1400, just like a minor. On yellow freebie meets with this sinus. 15 million, cause I'm undecided. I'm kicking cigarette, ooh. I'm serving bricks about it, ooh. Get a Charlie, ooh. Gucci flip-flops and joggers, ooh.
In the whip on a Tuesday night with the music high, and you by my side. Top down and the moon is high, and the mood is right, and you by my side. Late night conversations, electric emotions, sprinkle with a little bit of sex, and it's a potion, yeah. Late night bodies aching, mental stimulation, sprinkle with a little bit of sex appeal, and it's a moment, yeah.
Feeling flat tonight, yeah, yeah. Gone with the vibe, yeah. It's going down tonight, yeah. Don't you leave, don't you move, by the beat, by the boom around you.
Late night conversations, electric emotions, sprinkle with a little bit of sex, and it's a potion, yeah. Late night bodies aching, mental stimulation, sprinkle with a little bit of sex.
Dua Lipa, Calvin Harris, etc. Potion. Hey, Steve, shout out, please, as we travel to the O2 in London for my daughter's long-awaited Christmas present to see Billie Eilish in concert this evening. That's Carl, Sean and Millie. You got it.
Sprinkle with a little bit of sex.
Well, let's go rushing to news now. Justine is standing by. Stacey Dooley later. There'll be Serious Jockin', and when we come back, the oldies chosen by Mark Holly and Whitchurch, Cardiff.
BBC News at 3 o'clock. This is Justine Green. Boris Johnson has ordered ministers to do everything in their power to secure the release of 2 Britons sentenced to death in a part of Ukraine controlled by pro-Russian separatists. Aidan Aslin and Sean Pinner were tried as mercenaries in the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic. The Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has discussed the case with her Ukrainian counterpart in a phone call. Vadim Prishtaiko, Ukraine's ambassador to the UK, said the 2 men were likely to be part of a prisoner swap, but the terms still needed to be agreed.
The important question, what is the price for this? Because Russians were talking about some Ukrainian MPs to be swapped for them. I don't want to go into details because this is very sensitive work of our Prosecutor's General's office, of the special services, how to communicate this, and it's done under the radar, which allowing these operations to happen.
The Defence Secretary Ben Wallace has held talks in Kyiv with President Zelensky. The Ministry of Defence said the visit was a chance to hear how the operational needs of Ukraine's military were changing and how the UK could best tailor its support. A 14-year-old boy has been stabbed to death in an attack in Manchester. Police were called out to a property in Miles Platting last night. The child's mother is in a stable condition in hospital. Our correspondent Eunice Muller is following developments at the scene.
There's a lot of police activity, a huge police presence. I've seen officers searching nearby fields, knocking on doors, even picking up drain covers to see what's inside as a murder investigation has been launched. But what they're stressing at this stage is that this is a domestic incident. They believe the attacker, the suspect, was known to the victims.
New figures suggest COVID infections in the UK are no longer falling. The Office for National Statistics estimates that almost 1 million people would have tested positive in the week ending the 2nd of June, up by around 50,000 on the previous 7 days. Campaigners are arguing in the High Court that the UK's agreement to send some asylum seekers to Rwanda is unenforceable. The first flight is due to take off on Tuesday. The Home Office insists the plan complies with the law. The hearing has also heard representations from the UN Refugee Agency, as our home editor Mark Easton explains.
Laura Dubinsky, who's a barrister for the UNHCR, stood up in court and talked about the inaccuracies of the Home Office position, and she wanted to clarify that the UNHCR in no way endorsed the UK-Rwanda arrangement. She said it was unlawful, and indeed the Commission had told the Home Secretary it was unlawful on 2 occasions after the signing of the deal in April, one meeting in the UK and one in Rwanda.
The most successful manager of Northern Ireland's football team, Billy Bingham, has died aged 90. Renowned as a master tactician, his finest hour came at the World Cup finals in 1982 when his side defeated the tournament host Spain 1-0. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 3.
Thanks, Justine.
In the afternoon.
Bam!
Non-stop oldies.
You took a mystery and made me want it. You got a pedestal and put me on it. You made me love you out of feeling nothing, something that you do. And I was there not dancing with anyone. You took a little, then you took me over. You set your mark on stealing my heart away. Trying anything to you. I'm in the middle of a chain reaction. You give me all the after midnight action. I wanna get you where I can let you make all that love to me. I'm on a journey for the inspiration to anywhere, and there ain't no salvation. I need you to get me nearer to you so you can set me free. We talk about love, love, love. We talk about love. We talk about love, love, love. We talk about love. You make me tremble when your hand moves lower. You taste a little, then you swallow slower. You never find your love if you hide away, crying, dying. All you gotta do is get in the middle of a chain reaction. You get a better when you're lost in action. I wanna get your love, ready for the sweet sensation, instant radiation. You let me hold you for the first explosion. We got a picture of our love in motion. My arms will cover, my lips will smother you. No more left to say. We talk about love, love, love. Talk about love. Let me hold you for the first explosion. Arms will cover you. All you gotta do
So these chosen by Mark Holly in Whitchurch in Cardiff. Steve, yes, I live with my partner Lindsay, who's also my best friend and soulmate. We've been together for 3 fantastic years. Well, we love to travel, and we're off to South Africa in September, which has been delayed for 2 years due to COVID. I've worked for the fire service for 40 years, and we're not working. I also enjoy walking, watching sport, and listening to Radio 2. We also enjoy going to concerts. I've recently seen Mamma Mia, the musical, up in London, and thank you for playing my oldies. Thank you, Mark. hour and 4 minutes to go before.
Serious jockin'. No G.
That is correct.
It's a human sign when things go wrong, when the scent of her lingers and temptation strong into the boundary of each married man. Sweet deceit comes calling and negativity lies. Cold, cold heart, heart done by you. Something's looking better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple word. It's two hearts living in two separate worlds. But it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice. It's no misunderstanding after the fact. Sensitivity builds a prison in the final act. We lose direction, no stone unturned, no teeth to damn you when jealousy burns. Cold, cold heart, heart done by you. Something's looking better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple word. It's two hearts living in two separate worlds. But it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice. It's no sacrifice. Cold, cold heart, heart done by you. Something's looking better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice at all.
Mark Holly in Whitchurch, you got yourself a badge for choosing these non-stop oldies.
Oi, everybody, including you.
Yes.
It's 1 hour before Serious Jockin'. That's with no G. With that DJ Silly Boy. Ream.
Let's do this. Saturday mornings from 10. What can you expect? Well, here it is. We celebrate all of life's little wins.
My class have made fine dining masterpieces out of baked beans on toast.
We bought a giant 9-inch lemon.
All lemon.
All lemon.
Goodness, that is big news. Some incredible guests stopped by. Anton Deck.
Hello, Claudia.
Kate Humble. Really enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. I will be wiggling my bottom in your honour.
Claudia Winkleman. Saturday mornings from 10 or listen now on BBC Sounds.
Georgie boy was gay, I guess. Nothing more or nothing less. The kindest guy I ever knew. His mother's tears fell in vain. The afternoon George tried to explain that he needed love like all the rest. Paul said there must be a mistake. How can my son not be straight after all I've said and done for him? Leaving home on a Greyhound bus, cast out by the ones he loves, a victim of these gay days, it seems. Georgie went to New York town, where he quickly settled down and soon became the toast of the Great White Way. Accepted by Manhattan's elite in all the places that were chic. No party was complete without George. Along the boulevards he'd cruise, and all the old queens blew a fuse. Everybody loved Georgie boy. The last time I saw George alive was in the summer of '75. He said he was in love. I said I'm pleased. George attended the opening night of another Broadway hype, but split before the final curtain fell. Deciding to take a shortcut home, arm in arm they meant no wrong. A gentle breeze blew down Fifth Avenue. Out of a dark inside street came a New Jersey gang with just one aim: to roll some innocent passerby. There ensued a fearful fight. Screams rung out in the night. George's head hit a sidewalk cornerstone. A leather kid, a switchblade knife, who did not intend to take his life. He just pushed his luck a little too far that night. The sight of blood dispersed the gang. A crowd gathered, the police came. An ambulance screamed to a halt on 53rd and 3rd. George's life ended there, but I ask who really cared. George once said to me, and I quote, he said, never wait or hesitate. Get in, kid, before it's too late. You may never get another chance. 'Cause youth's a mask, but it don't last. Live it long and live it fast. Georgie was a friend of mine.
Simon on the non-stop oldies. Coming around again. Rain and thunder for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Mainly dry and sunny for England and Wales. High of 23. Not bad. Not bad. In King's Lynn. The pollen is very high today as well, so that explains why you might be sneezing a bit. Tonight, wind and rain continuing across Northern Ireland and Scotland. The chances some showers for South Wales, but otherwise dry for the rest of the UK. Tomorrow, heavy rain and showers for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. This is tomorrow, Saturday. Not as sunny as today across England and Wales. Sunniest for the southeast, though. And now the non-stops continue. Here's Linda's Fun and Run for Home.
I've made
She's in Whitchurch. Got yourself a badge. It's on its way. Next half hour, we're going to talk to Stace.
Today has been relatively straightforward. Tomorrow is a totally different ball game. We are opening up the Hungry For It hub to the general public, so you can experience working in professional kitchens. There are going to be genuine customers. It's a full restaurant service, but you won't all be working together. So you'll be split into two teams, depending on how you did today.
Stacey Dooley.
Family favourites you won't want to miss on BBC iPlayer.
It's lucky you're all here. We're all getting on so well.
There's just so much to love.
We just saw a great white shark breeds.
Everyone will be back for more.
Obviously.
The Beaker Girls.
Look at you. Your first day at big school.
Theodosia.
You must be strong. You must protect.
But protect what?
Our changing planet.
Meanwhile, the baby herd is enjoying the first tentative drops of rain.
Getting a morning kiss from an elephant.
Family films, documentaries and drama from across the BBC.
Oh,
You're welcome.
On BBC iPlayer.
Thank you.
This is Mike Powell.
Not now, Mike. Now, it's Bobby.
Thank you, Steve. Glasgow M8. On the eastbound side at 22 for the M77. Got a breakdown there. One lane is shut. A1M on the northbound side at 35 for the M18. Now, the earlier accident has been cleared. That's the good news. The bad news is it's still queuing from 34 up Blythe. And you've got queues on the southbound side as well. A15 at Curtin Lindsey. That's now been reopened at Curtin Lindsey. But the A15 is now been closed. This is the Bourne Road between Morton and Dyke Drove. So it's closed from Sleaford to Bourne now, and you've got buses on diversion. M62, both ways. We've got a lane out 34 to 35 for barrier repairs, so you've got a lane out there. The M56 eastbound remains closed between 7 and 6, so towards Manchester from Bowden through to Hale. We've got really huge queues and congestion around the whole area. M6 on the northbound side, 18 to 20. We've got long northbound queues from Holmes Chapel through to the M56, taking about half an hour to get through there at the moment. And the M5, 6 to 5. Earlier accident up towards Droitwich has cleared, but you still got queues back to the M50 in Junction 8. It's a patchy stop-start queue, though. The A6 at Burton Latimer blocked completely. Accident between the Higham Road and the Cranford Road. And then to the A3 on the southbound side. Between Ockham Park and Ripley Services, 2 lanes are closed. At the M25 clockwise, big queues from 10 the A3 to 16 for the M40. Queuing into the Dartford Tunnel from 3. And I've just got news about the A2. At the M25 coastbound, so if you're heading towards the M25, so eastbound, we've got a vehicle fire. It's queuing back to Bexley already. Another one from me, half an hour.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's have a look here. Steve, it's Caitlin from Ammanford, South Wales, on the way to North Wales to meet friend's new baby. Great. Big shout out to Lisa, who's doing the driving today on our way to Anglesey. Lots of love from Gaza. Heading to Heathrow to collect our daughter Hannah and her bestie Hallie. They've been away travelling since January. Excited doesn't cover it. That's Dad, Kev, Mum, Fee and Hannah's boyfriend Liam. Thank you. Our pleasure. That's what we're here for. To Liz and Luke, travelling from Weymouth to Lichfield to see some dear old friends. And we love you, Steve. Thank you. I love you too. Shout out to Jane and Matt Seal, travelling to Warwickshire to Manchester to see Ed Sheeran tonight. Then Manchester to Edinburgh tomorrow to visit family. And we're on our way from the O2 London. We saw Queen with Adam Lambert. Absolutely fantastic. That's Judy and Rob.
Always say you love me, but you always make it all about you, especially when you've had a few. Oh yeah, all the things I heard from your ex, now they make a whole lot of sense. ego always doing the most. Out of touch and not even close. Drama always follows you home, but I won't be waiting no more. Worked on myself, open my eyes. You hate my friends, turns out they were right. It takes two to make it all go right. But with you, it's always my fault and your short views. Just like a time bomb, and I think you should take a second just to look at your reflection, baby. Maybe you're the problem. Okay, you see a pattern, your point of view. Got it all backwards. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. But with you, it's always my fault and your short views. Just like a time bomb, and I think you should take a second just to look at your reflection, baby. Maybe you're the problem. Okay, you see a pattern, your point of view. Got it all backwards. You should take your little finger and just point it in the mirror, baby. Maybe you're the problem.
Got a couple of fast food factoids here. Once, Pizza Hut delivered a pizza to the International Space Station. Needless to say, it was cold. Are some people, they're asking a question here, are some people afraid of Ronald McDonald? I actually know a couple of people that are. Here's Bobby Pryor.
The Czech Republic has the most castles in Europe. The country has 932 of them, and if you visited one castle every day, it would take you over 2 years to see them all.
Oh, I love a castle. When it comes to food, forget the cheat day and say hello to the cheat weekend. 2/3 of people say they eat whatever they want on Saturday and Sunday as their reward for getting through another work week. Here's Tim Smith.
I don't know why, but I've always liked the name Barraclough. The Old English surname Barraclough has its origins in an actual place near Halifax in West Yorkshire. In pre-7th century Old English, Bera or Barra meant a grove or a wood, and Clough or Clough meant a ravine or a slope. There was a footballer called Stuart Barraclough, and of course the most famous Barraclough, Mr. Barraclough from Porridge.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, in a 70s situation comedy, or let's say there's a show about factories, would he be the shop steward or would he be the management, Mr. Barraclough? Would he be in a coat? Would he be in a brown coat or not?
I think so. I think he'd be a shop steward, definitely.
You think he'd be a shop steward?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, don't you?
What else could Mr. Barraclough be? I mean, apart from in Porridge.
I like to think of Mr. Barraclough being a Trevor Barraclough, running his own haulage company.
Yeah, I'll take that. McDonald's uses real eggs in their Egg McMuffin, and here is an interesting factoid, and whether it's true, I really don't know. 1 in 8 American people has worked at McDonald's. I can't be right. Here's Bobby Pryor.
In 2014, there was a Tinder match in Antarctica. 2 research scientists matched on the global dating app in the most remote part of the world. A man working on the United States Antarctica McMurdo station and a woman camping a 45-minute helicopter ride away. What are the chances of that?
That's a great one. Here's Tim Smith.
The word Pope comes from the Greek word papas, meaning father.
Thank you.
Factoids.
Unlike other guys, I won't waste your time.
a broadcaster and journalist who's known for a string of hard-hitting documentaries she's made for BBC Three, as well as hosting the talent show Glow Up, Britain's Next Makeup Star. She wowed the nation when she won the Strictly Come Dancing Glitter Ball in 2018. Oh, yes, she did. With her dance and now real-life partner Kevin Clifton. Stacey is now back as the host of a new BBC Three series. It's a cookery competition show called Hungry For It. The first ep of the series is on the iPlayer now, and the next airs Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on BBC Three. Let's talk about it. Hello, Stacey, how are you? Good afternoon.
Oh, hello, mate. I'm really well. Are you okay?
We're
what
fine.
An intro. I'll take that.
Well, we love you, and in fact, Bobby was just saying to you that you got us through the pandemic somehow. So
that is just such a lovely thing to say. I can only apologise. You make all this stuff, and then it all sort of seems to come out at the same time. So if you don't like me, it's probably not a good time to turn the telly on at the minute.